Right.
Okay. Where are your glasses?
Don't ask these questions.
Okay, so
Where am I?
welcome to our space, business to business times 2. And as we say, it's all things business, and we are honored to have a legacy business here with us. Yes, generational wealth. We like to talk about that. So, Yoni, introduce yourself and tell us what your business is about.
Okay. So I'm Yoni Francis-Lau. I'm the admin and HR manager at Francis-Lau Construction. We are a steel fabrication company, so we do everything from design to erection. And we have been in business maybe 63 or 64 years, if I'm not mistaken. It was founded by my grandfather, Clifford. Well, he's since passed away. The business then went to his sons. So it's 4 of them. Now 3 of them, because my uncle also passed away.
Right.
And now I'm in the business. So second generation.
Yeah, second generation. So, it's what we talk about in terms of if what we start now, if we have children, who is it going to pass on to? That kind of legacy that you are part of now. Do you feel that weight on your shoulders?
Oh, absolutely. It's a tremendous responsibility.
It is. And I'm not pressuring you, but you should feel the weight of it. Mm-hmm. And persons who are, say, we have started Kankameki or Kazi, the reverence that it holds, because this is not a company of someone that you don't know, mm-hmm. that started it and you're picking up and I'm working in it. This literally, it's your family history, it's your history, it will be passed on to your children's history. So that has some reverence to you. It's not a company that you are taking over. It's literally who you are, your parents were, that you are now going to be entrusted, because I know your uncles are still running it, but you are there, I think, to
be that bridge.
And absorb as much as you
mm-hmm.
can, learn as much as you can from them.
100%.
And be able to now take it up and keep it going. Mm-hmm. For another 60-something years.
Exactly.
So, under you, they can, and you're also here to add to them. Because what your grandfather did, not that I'm diminishing it, but it may not be relevant now, just because things have changed and technology has changed. So those who came after him had to learn, had to add. They couldn't do it without him, but they had to add. So I think you also be here to add.
Yeah.
You have to do that to stay relevant. And he started off very small. He started off in a cow shed in St. James, and he was just doing wrought iron burglar proof. And he got the opportunity at some point, I don't know how many years later, to do a building. And he was like, I can't, this is too much for me, that scale is beyond my capability.
Right.
But eventually he took up that challenge because the clients at the time really believed in him and believed in his work ethic and his because he was always customer centric. Mm-hmm. It's
yes.
always been about not profit, but
how people felt about the after product, how they felt during the process.
Yeah,
I think Clifford, Mr. Francis-Lau was key to that, because I've seen it, with your uncles. Mm-hmm. It's how you all make people feel about when you erect a business, from the time you actually are designing it, what the structure is going to look like. Because I'll never forget when we were doing TIC together. Mm-hmm. And this woman came up and said, Francis-Lau Construction? You're like, oh my God, you all built my house. And she said the drawings were not good. And your uncle Wayne took the drawings and just changed it and fixed everything at no additional cost. I mean, at that time, they could have absorbed that kind of thing and had that flex with the business, because it wasn't as big as it is now.
But we still do that today.
You can still do that today. And that's the nice thing about being in a family-run business, that there's a certain amount of flex, that you still keep that entrepreneurial spirit, that we still have that control, that you still have that control over the business. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... And really and truly, but I want to talk about your background coming into this. Like, what are you bringing as a new generation, adding to the Francis-Lau Construction family? Mm-hmm. What are your qualifications?
Qualification. Okay, so I have my MBA in Entrepreneurship and Innovation, but I think the bulk of my experience and skill set and qualifications is with ISO. So I'm a certified ISO 9001, 14001, and 22000 lead auditor. So that's quality, environmental, and food safety.
Right.
So I only joined the Francis-Lau team in 2024. But prior to that, I would have had about 15 years of experience in training and consultancy. So setting up, designing, implementing management systems based on ISO, as well as helping persons become certified in their relevant fields, and just aiding in professional development, organizational transformation.
So hearing structure.
Yeah, I heard a lot of structure, but can you break down first what does ISO mean?
Oh, okay. So ISO actually is not an acronym. A lot of people think it is, but it isn't. So ISO is Greek for all things equal, or the same.
Right.
The actual organization, it's the International Organization of Standardization.
Right.
Right. So what they do is they would set guidelines for quality, reliability, safety.
Right.
Best practices, basically. And those standards can be adopted and applied to any type of organization, any size of organization. And what it really is meant to do is to ensure that the output, the product or the service is of the highest possible quality.
And consistent.
And this would have started, I think it would have in Japan, I think in the 1940s, if I'm not mistaken. It was Toyota.
Yeah, because a lot of people have ISO certification, but it really does lend to the credibility of the business. Any business that you join, you know, and gives them structure that they would not have had before.
It's all systems based.
As I keep
She loves systems. She loves a system.
Literally
love a system.
They run organizations. When because you said you only joined Francis-Lau in
2024.
Yeah.
So when you were deciding what you want to do or going to school or whatever, was this your end game? Or did you know it would catch up? It would catch up to you.
Yeah, like you'd be the family member that'll get roped in, because you know you have cousins and you know you have it's a large family.
Yeah. No, I decided last year that I wanted to make a shift, right? Do a career overhaul, a change. I needed a change because I was doing the same thing for such a long time.
Right.
But I always had a love for writing and architecture. And
It's in the blood. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Right? So when I was leaving my last place of employment, I was like, you know what? I could get a good job anywhere else because I know what I bring to the table. But do I want to do that? And it was a hard no. I wanted to feel connected and inspired. I wanted whatever that next move would have been. I wanted it to be something meaningful. And I just had this idea. Let me talk to Chris. Right?
Let me talk to my uncle.
Let me talk to my uncle. And let me see, because you know this might actually make some sense. And I think the architecture kind of was that propelling factor, because I saw a clear connection there, obviously. And the legacy is big. It's a big part of it.
Yeah.
My dad also. I mean, we have a really good relationship. We're very, very
it's
close.
lovely.
And he is, you know, like semi-retired. He's in his 70s. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to work with him for the next few years while I can?
While you can.
And why not, like, let me see if there is an opportunity here for me.
And I think somewhere in the subconscious, because none of your other cousins, at least not yet, because I think you're starting it. There.
Not right now.
Not right now. And I think
They would have been at some different points in time, yeah.
But like now I think it's critical.
It's critical.
You know, your dad is in his 70s. They're all maturing. They're getting to that age where they need someone to now be right there with them.
It just what's the word? It was like a serendipity.
Yeah. But it wasn't. I want to make it very clear as well that it wasn't just automatic because your last name is Francis-Lau. You literally had to be qualified and you had to apply. You had to speak to the board and speak to them as well. Even though they may be relatives, they were hard on you because I know Chris. I know Chris.
That is how they are. You have to earn it.
You have to earn it.
To earn your way in everything.
Yeah. So it's not a fake it till you make it industry because of how technical things are. You had to earn your
Yeah,
place
absolutely.
there.
And I guess they were so passionate as well because they understood what their father did to get the company, and
Yeah, they would have seen it
put
firsthand.
in. So they
Yeah.
don't want anybody to just come in, even though your last name is Francis-Lau, to just come in and take it for granted.
You know, there are lots of statistics, like when the company goes from generation to generation,
Yeah.
the likelihood of it failing increases.
Correct.
So that's always big
Correct.
in their minds as well. You don't want to give someone something and they don't really have a deep appreciation
Yeah.
for what it is that they're getting.
That's
and
very
they know
important.
how to take care of it. They know how to nurture it and how to move from this point to that point. So, yeah.
And it's good to know that they did not automatically force you to go study architecture or
Yes.
do something
Yeah.
business focused.
Because I think we've
off
seen
the bat.
families like that. They expect that the next generation actually does something that adds value to that particular business that they're in. But I don't think any of your cousins, you all were not forced to do that at all.
No. We all do like.
You all walk the
interests,
walks,
and
yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Different.
We have a chef, we have personal trainers, we have real estate. I mean, it's just different.
And it's healthy when, for organizations that are family driven, it's extremely healthy when it happens the way it happened with Yoni. You have to want to come in.
Yeah.
Because you felt, now it would be nice that I take this over. It's not that, well, my parents have this, or and I can just jump in. Because the appreciation for the sacrifice and the work isn't there. But it wasn't from that place you joined. Because clearly, based on what you share, you can go anywhere and get a job. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you're qualified.
But I want to be a part of this. I want to carry it on. And entrepreneurs that build their organizations from zero, and it's now 64 years old, I rather have someone come into the organization and want to carry it on rather than I pass it on to someone who is just happy to sit and ride the wave without that appreciation that you spoke about. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm intimately understand your family's legacy because, for the past 3 years, I've been helping you craft the communication about it. So one thing that always struck me was the relationships that Clifford built in the 70s in St. Vincent and all of the other islands that allowed you all to allowed his business and his time to continue and to, survive a recession in Trinidad. But what have you all now done to continue that?
We just had a conversation earlier this week, I believe, or last week, because we were talking about a couple of jobs that we did not get, right? And we didn't even get invited to tender for the jobs. And when we asked the client, well, why you didn't come to us? Why you didn't consider us? They said, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, glad you said that. Yeah.
So, and then Andre, my dad, he said, this is why I go up the islands.
Yes,
I try to hit an
yes.
island once, twice per year, and I have nothing on the agenda. I just go.
I'm just going to go.
And touch base because Caribbean people and people on the whole, we like, as Matthew said before, we're tactile. We like to see people. We like to understand that you are still in existence. It's not enough for us to have ads going. It's not enough. They need to see you. Yeah.
In person.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference.
And especially when the foundation has been built the way it was built with your granddad. He was when
a people person
believed in him. And I want to tell entrepreneurs, luck is not the thing. It's opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
He was, and in his mind, he probably wasn't thinking he was preparing for anything, but he's practicing his craft. And that's preparation. That is the preparation. If you don't do that, if you don't practice your craft, the opportunity is not going to come, It's not going to come. You have to almost be prepared for when it's presented because the person believed in him and he probably started to believe in himself after when he started to do it. Realized, well, wait, I can do this because he had sufficient practice. If you don't practice your craft, you're going to keep butting your head. You're not going to get the results you want. As the previous guy said, you have to do the work. It's hard work. You have to do it. You have to do the talent and all of that. Yes, you have to
do the work, and you have to be known for it as well. So, what are you bringing to the table? What do you think your legacy now will be for Francis-Lau Construction?
So right now, especially based on my previous experience, we are in a transition, right? From, I don't want to say mom and pop shop because it's been 64 years. We've
Yeah.
exceeded that. However, there was a certain informality in how we conduct things internally. So systems.
Right.
So it's about strengthening those systems, streamlining those systems, making it as lean as possible, especially in today's climate with the economy. Sometimes you think that waste is only the end at the end. You have paper, you have whatever, right? In our case, it would be like steel, our cutoff. But waste happens throughout the entire process. And it's about learning how to cut out waste as much as possible. Time, people, effort. So right now we're doing that. So that is one of the things I'm bringing to the organization.
That's a big culture shift.
That's huge.
It's a huge culture.
That's huge. Have you gotten, pushback, and how have you dealt with that?
No one really likes change. Most people, I should
Even
say.
though it's the only constant in life, but
It's
yes.
only constant. But most people don't like change because you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
You are faced with, you have to challenge your norms. You have to do things differently. And it's an uncomfortable space to be in. So it is not the easiest road to track right now. But I think communication, that's where it becomes incredibly important, because you have to convey to your team the why. Why we are.
You have to get their buy-in.
You have to get their buy-in.
Yeah.
You have to constantly communicate your vision and why going about it this way is going to be for the benefit of all, and kind of take them along that journey with you instead of just saying, do this is how I want it done. So collaboration, communication, teamwork.
Yeah.
And you also have to be comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Not that I have a 64-year-old company, but I just think you have to be comfortable as well in those that fall by the wayside along your journey, because your journey is to take the company to another 64 years. And people along the way that don't see your journey, after you've explained and communicated and shared all that you do, we have to be comfortable in letting it go.
Yeah. You're gonna find people falling away.
Yeah, fall by the wayside.
And that's fine.
You have to be focused on.
Yeah, and I like what she said. You said lean, to operate it at that lean. And as entrepreneurs, we know that we can start up something. We can do startups and we start lean. But you are coming into a business where you still have to be lean, even after 64 years.
You still have to go and trim fat.
Yeah.
Because it accumulates with time. Huh?
Yeah.
Without you noticing.
Yeah.
It
Like
accumulates.
that. It accumulates with time. Yeah.
So, as we kind of closed off, because we don't want to, but I know you've touched on your qualifications, you've touched on the vision that you have. What is the vision that you have for the future of the company right now?
So we are, part of the transition is to modernize with our equipment, right? So we have already started to heavily invest in new machinery, new equipment, because we want to modernize our operations. That's one thing. We want to continue to strengthen our relationships up the islands. But more than that, we want to actively pour into those communities through training and upskilling.
Nice.
Because we use, sometimes, depending on the island that we're in, we don't have a labor force there.
Right.
So we have to take our trainees across, right? And ideally, what we would like to do is to utilize the teams
there. Right.
So we have to train. We have to train them.
Okay.
So it's about collaborating with other stakeholders to sort of just uplift the region as a whole and continue to build,
And call some of the islands that you're in.
Oh, we're in all of the islands. So we're in St. Lucia, Grenada, Barbados, we're in Guyana, St. Kitts, St. Vincent, Martinique. We're everywhere.
Yeah. Because we're one Caribbean at the end of the day.
One region, one people.
We are one region, one people. Mm-hmm. We might be on little different rocks, but I always say it's us against the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think at the end of the day, what are you going to do in terms of marketing? Because as the guy told you all, your customer told you all, out of sight, out of mind. So what is the future in terms of how you market? Because I know that generational businesses, we have a tendency to kind of lean on the relationships that our parents would have built for us and lean on the reputation of the business to bring in more business.
Right.
But that may not be working right now. So what would you do in the future?
Well, you have actually, Stephanie, you've made a huge impact on us because, you would know that Stephanie has been integral
Can connect you.
connect you,
Stop
connect
it.
you in shaping our entire marketing strategy and getting our name out there even more and sort of maybe rebrand. Is that a correct term?
I think I wanted to increase the visibility by
Definitely.
telling these stories, of Clifford, of his sons, and also doing it visually. So we had Brunton Studios come in, and they did a whole story of steel, which will be shown probably later on. We revamped the company profile, we revamped the website, all under.
All under Can Connect You.
All under Can Connect.
But
All under Can
it
Connect
has
You.
to continue.
Yes, absolutely. But you sort of got the ball rolling
Yeah.
for us, and you opened our eyes in a way that we didn't even consider before. So it's about continuing that, of course, and continuing to put ourselves out there and be in the conversation. We have to make sure that we're in the conversation.
Yeah.
You're in the
You have to make sure you're in the conversation. Don't let it die.
Down at all.
No.
Yeah.
Never let it die.
Don't worry, I know Yoni is in charge.
Well, Yoni is cool because
she's cool,
Chris is still there.
I
My
know.
father is still there.
Very much in
I
Yeah,
know,
Chris
I
is in
know, I know.
charge.
But when I say in charge of the future, let me say that. Don't
Yeah.
let me. Don't.
Yeah. So I can't
Taking
see
away from
Francis-Lau dying anytime soon because a lot of people, even yesterday when I was I was doing other things as well, and I would mention, hey, Francis-Lau Construction, like, oh my God, they're still around. Yes.
Yeah.
They are still around. You need more people to say it.
And that's where you came in.
And need more people to say it. Yeah,
So-
we need more people to say it, and we need to be in the forefront as well. So yes, as we wrap up, Yoni, any words of advice for somebody taking over or being part of a generational business like this? Your other co-generationalists inheriting this business.
Yeah, and I would say to stay hungry. I think
Okay.
staying hungry is because you're not always going to be the smartest person, the most insightful person, the most experienced person, the most qualified person, right? And you don't need to be. You need to get a team. You need to put a team together. That's one thing. But if you're hungry enough, you're going to get all those things done one way or another. So stay hungry and make sure that you're the hungriest person in the room, every single time,
Every
single day.
I love it.
You don't get days off. You
Got it.
No.
You don't get days off.
So you're
on and off
not
switch.
you're not sitting on your laurels because you've inherited to be part of a business. You are still working harder than anybody
You have
else.
to.
She's still hungry.
Yeah, you're still hungry.
Yeah.
I don't think your phone ever comes off though.
No. I mean, last night it was off because I was doing homework with my kids. But no,
Yeah.
generally speaking, no.
Yeah.
No.
Generally, I can reach at 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah.
I understand.
Stay
Yes.
hungry. That's my advice.
Very
Stay
good.
hungry, folks.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Yoni. I think this was
Yeah.
very insightful.
It
It's a
was.
very special episode.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
I have all the clips.
Thank you.
Yes, but yes.
No problem. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Okay.
Times two.
Times two.
All right, so we're good. We went a little